Kamala is traveling to New Hampshire today to tout a new plan to help small businesses. Why hasn't Kamala Harris helped small businesses in the last 4 years? In fact, small business optimism, according to the Small Business Administration, is at a record low, and it has been for the last 31 months with Kamala Harris as vice president.
I've been in this business a long time, about 40 years. This is by far nothing that comes close to the most anti-small business agenda and candidate team that I've seen in my lifetime.
There's no sense in trying to say I'm here for small businesses when you've gone to war against small businesses. If she becomes president, I know she will go to war with our capitalist system. Small business is going to be starved. The entrepreneurial spirit will be starved.
If she really wanted to help the middle class and the American people, she could do it today as vice president of the United States. Nothing will change if she's reelected. It will only continue to get worse.
For people who care about their jobs and their wallet and their pocketbooks, I hope they vote their pocketbooks in November, because this is a clear contrast between these two candidates.
She already broke the economy once. America, please don't let Kamala Harris break it again. We need Donald Trump.
That is correct. She already is part of breaking this economy up and having it to where we are right now. She's definitely responsible for that. Why would you guys want to repeat this? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You know, people say people will show you exactly who they are. Don't listen to what they tell you. Let them show you who they are. Like, she showed us who she is, and she's still trying to tell us otherwise, and people are believing it. Come on, man. Living in America has become difficult as of late. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the American people.
Inflation obviously is a huge issue. We've talked about it a lot over the last few years, and that, of course, makes it harder to reach some of these goals. Is that the only thing at play here, or are there other things at play that are making it hard to get to some of these goals?
Yeah, inflation is definitely one of them. When you think about the money we spend on shelter alone, and it's now over 35% for some families, even with a mortgage, that takes away a lot of that disposable income or the income we might need to put something away for retirement. Retirement is when you stop earning that income, you want to live off of your money. So we put that in as well, $1.6 million when you want to stop working and live off your money, assuming a drawdown. So inflation is definitely a big factor there.
So what it's looking like, what is happening is retirement is going to be a thing of the past at the current rate of the economic status. Like, it's obvious that if we continue down this path, bro, like, people are going to be working until it's over, until the wheels fall off. And that's not what we want. Somebody says banks are making a profit on you having to have a minimum escrow. Property tax plus insurance divided by 12 equals. That's it. No minimum escrow. Retirement is out of the question for some. This is a huge problem. Vote for Trump. This is obvious. Voters know and feel it. That's the part that's really insulting. It's just the way that they try to make it seem like it's not happening. You know what I mean? I hate when somebody tries to insult my intelligence in that way. So that's why I get real ticked off about Kamala Harris, for real. Somebody said absolutely right. It really is. The economy is really, really bad. Harris' answer is more taxes, right? Yeah, just continue to put us in debt. But what Kamala, she's doing is she's putting us in debt. She's, tanking this country, the reputation of it all. She's making a mockery of us. She's copycatting everything that Donald Trump is doing, but she's not talking about no policy. She's not talking about specifics. She's not talking about a record. And she's doing it on purpose because she knows they are indefensible.
Well, look, I got to tell you, a neck and neck race after watching the last 40 plus days of the media falling over themselves to crown Kamala Harris, I will take that race any day of the week, because every major issue facing our country, the economy, inflation, immigration, foreign policy, Donald Trump is either favored by double digits or has massive leads in each category. So I think that the fact that the swing state polling that is coming in looks like it's a tight race or a tied race favors Donald Trump. He historically underpolls compared to what the actual results look like. I think that trend line continues. And look, Kamala Harris is not talking about policy. She's not talking about specifics. She's not talking about the terrible job she did as vice president. And the American people want answers to all of those things. She's not giving it to the American people. She's not doing that on purpose. That is hurting her. The debate next week is going to be a big deal, obviously. I think Donald Trump's going to be calm, cool, and collected. and once again lay out the fact that under his presidency, everybody was getting ahead in America, and we were all safer at the same time.
You know,
that's a record of success.
Unfortunately, going on to Byron Donald's comments, man, you can tell he just made a lot of people mad. Somebody said Kamala is the only one talking policy. Trump isn't. TDS is real. Somebody says she has clearly articulated her policies. She has told us specifically how she will enact those policies. She speaks about her record continuously. And somebody says, let's not forget what has already been achieved by Biden and Harris already. But never states how, I don't know what this is going on. Yeah, but we're starting to see that. We're starting to see the comments. Only time I see every time I'm under his comment section, I just see all of his haters. I don't really see anybody necessarily commenting about the actual clip. But Kamala Harris, man, just to reiterate, come on, dog. She's not giving us anything to go off of. And yet she's able to poll this close. You know, I don't care if it is 10 points away. The fact that she hasn't really gave you no solid plan. And the plan that she's giving you, or, you know, the little speckles of it, is all plagiarized. Come on, man. We got to do better, man. It's frustrating when leaders avoid addressing the important issues directly. I'm reading, obviously. Accountability is what we need now more than ever. Let's hope the debate brings those crucial conversations to the forefront. I don't think it's going to happen because the divisiveness is going to continue to happen. She's not posting and talking about a policy because it changes daily depending on who she's talking to, in my opinion. Right? That's my opinion. They couldn't wiggle around her if her policies were posted. They couldn't, have that leg room to do what they want to do. Somebody said what she's got, her policies are Joe's policies, and they've been a disaster from the beginning. Amen to that. If she's not talking policy, then why are people taking capital gains tax and referencing her? Somebody else wrote, yes, it is. Hopefully she isn't allowed to make a mockery of it with her. I am speaking. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyhow. As a result of the Kamala Harris, Biden-Harris, situation, former Democrat state senator Gloria Romero switches parties. This is a Democrat party that I can no longer recognize, she says. Let's watch this clip.
All of a sudden, you have decided you are going to change parties. And I'm wondering, is it a sudden decision, long time coming? Gloria, what is it?
It's been a long time coming. I think what really began for me as almost a lifelong Democrat was that initial botched withdrawal from Afghanistan really began to set the tone for me. This is a Democratic Party that I no longer recognize. It has moved so far to the left. Mm-hmm. It's been the party of the march towards war, towards censorship, towards authoritarianism, and then on staple policy issues that I care about. The refusal to embrace school choice, education freedom for kids who are trapped in failing schools in California. So there's a number of reasons overall, but really it became a party that moved so far to the left that neither myself, Tulsi Gabbard, Leo Terrell, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I'm amongst the latest that just said, me too, I can't take it anymore.
I can't tell you how much this has been happening in previous administrations. I don't know. I don't have the history of that. I don't know how many people left the Democratic Party when Bush or Clinton or, anybody else was in office. But I will say, since Biden took office, I've never seen this many people jump off of the Democrat plantation. It's so many. And the thing is, it's always the same thing. It's always, they're just becoming too radical. We want to share similar views and this way or that way, but it's just too much. Now, this right here is a must watch. I don't know if y'all know it, but Trump sat down with Sean Hannity. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was on a plane, yada, yada. Anyhow, he rolls the tape of years of Kamala Harris's open border positions. President Trump says, no country could sustain this. Do you agree?
Let's play Kamala in her own words on the issue of immigration.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
You support giving universal health care, Medicare for all to people who are in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health period. We have to have a secure border, but I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals. That's correct. The border is secure. Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
So, and now she wants to offer a path to citizenship, which by any definition would be amnesty. Your reaction?
But, well, before you even start with that, of course it's ridiculous. You can't do it. No country could sustain this.
Oh, man, I woke up this morning with CNN calling her a fraud. Obviously, we know her reputation, but man, I like this one. This CNN host instantly regrets having Vivek on her show after he exposed Kamala Harris' career as being fraud in just 1 minute. In just 60 seconds, y'all. Check this out.
You brought up some claims about Kamala Harris. I want to finish that discussion. She said she didn't favor a ban on fracking now. The reality is she was one of the strongest proponents of that ban, so much so that when she was in California, she sued the Obama administration over granting fracking permits. She didn't just favor the abolition of private health insurance. She was a co-sponsor of the bill with Bernie Sanders as a U.S. Senator for Medicare for All for Americans. The reality is, when you think about the Green New Deal, she was the chief proponent, not just as a co-sponsor of the legislation, but going further and saying she would end the filibuster in the Senate to ram that through. So the reality is she can say what she wants to say now. Those are actions she has taken. Is someone allowed to evolve? Of course they are. But she deserves to explain exactly why she's changed those positions, exactly what her position is. If it's not a ban on fracking, what exactly is it? What exactly is her health care plan if she no longer favors abolishing private health insurance, which just 4 short years ago when she ran for president, she did? And that's the kind of scrutiny that's been missing. I think Donald Trump has received plenty of scrutiny, and I give credit to him for sitting for hostile interviews that Kamala Harris has not.
To ban fracking, to not ban fracking. I don't know, man. I know to ban Kamala should be the sentence, that I want to talk about. I mean, that I want to incorporate. But yeah, man, bring Vivek on your show to talk about Kamala. Oh, my God. I don't know if they were trying to get him to say something positive about her, but dog, it wasn't happening. Let's read some of these. But it's even more awkward for CNN, for the CNN host, is that Vivek is very good, has a good reputation for telling the truth, and the host cannot sweep his words under the carpet. And I think that's one of the greatest things that he ever set up for himself. Just being able to go, hey, look, I'm gonna come on here, I'm gonna interact with y'all, but even with all of the back and forth that he's had historically, he's never been fact-checked or debunked to be false. Oh my God, it's a flaw. I mean, it's a fly up in here. I'm up here saying flaw. Anyhow, Kamala, la 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 la. We need a little more than you just hiding out, okay? All right, it's time for Trump to go ahead and announce that Vivek is going to switch the VP status to him. Just saying.